Well, hello everyone and welcome to Painless Universal Conversation with myself and Welsh. Well, today's conversation is truly about motherhood. How would you turn your pain to joy? My guest turned her pain to a business idea and to a brand. Her company, the Jaiye company, makes sustainable nappies for kids, and they've gone on to do bigger things like not just nappies. They make sustainable plates where the plates are really durable for kids. They make baby wipes and everything that these babies need, but has to be sustainable and really thought about. We'll be asking my guest, Mariam, why did she start on this journey? What message did she want to convey? Why does she believe the Jaiye brand is better and it will help other mothers who are seeking to protect their loved one? Now, let me tell you a little bit about their brand. The Jaiye company creates comfortable and environmental friendly products for the conscious and intentional parents. They are 100% biodegradable bamboo. They deliver worldwide, and their key focus is, like my guest says, Mariam Jobe. She says, I would like to think of motherhood as a great big adventure. You set off on a journey and you don't really know how to navigate things. You don't know exactly where you're going or how you're going to get there. But what's important is the quality of whether it's nappy, baby wipes, quality of the material you use on your kids. These are things she finds truly important. She's a Black woman, she's a mother, she's a wife, she lives in the United States. She's breaking all barriers as being a full-time businesswoman. She's an entrepreneur, she's a lawyer, she works full-time as well, and she's doing all of this to show that it can be done when we remove our fear of all the negative we hear and move forward with our dreams. Really excited, and I hope you enjoy this conversation. Meet my amazing guest, Mariam Jobe, as she shares her story. Lover of sickle cell, wonderful mother, entrepreneur, businesswoman, founder of the Jaiye brand. Meet my guest, Mariam. Well, hello everyone and welcome again to Painless Universal Conversation with myself and Welsh. Today's conversation is really one of entrepreneur, believing in yourself and turning your dream into reality, turning a problem into a solution, not looking at a problem and thinking that there's a problem, but also thinking that that can be solved and how you can actually empower others to help them solve critical problems. My guest did just that. Mariam, an entrepreneur, sickle cell advocates, and for those of you who might not know what sickle cell is, she'll be telling you a little bit about the subject, what sickle cell is, a chronic illness, and many more. A mother, wife, will be telling us about her journey and her entrepreneurial business, which I want all mothers who are listening out here today to listen to and understand what she does. Mariam, how are you today?
I'm doing excellent, and thank you. How are yourself?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Every day, like I always say to people, we all live with pain, but the most important thing is that we must find a way to find our joy. It doesn't matter what you're doing, doesn't matter what life throws at you. You must find a way to make it useful each day. So I'm glad. I had to reach out to you again because I saw the wonderful work you're doing for mothers. Many mothers out there have been complaining about this process, about being, just everything in general about being a mother. And you said, I'm not just going to complain about it. I've watched my own son go through it. You have a son, and you've seen him go through those challenges, and you wanted to change that market. Before we get started into all of that, can you tell me a little bit so the audience can understand who is Mariam?
Thank you, Anne. It's always a pleasure having these conversations with you. But like you said, who's Mariam? Mariam is a mother. Mariam is a wife, Mariam is a sister and a friend, right? And my first baby is the Sickle Cell Foundation. It's called the Africa Sickle Cell Support Foundation.
Mm.
Sickle cell is very dear to my heart, and it's part of my life. My closest sibling is a sickle cell warrior. I have friends who are sickle cell warriors, and I have, you know, very close other relatives who are sickle cell warriors as well. And I strongly believe it's my duty and my responsibility as a human being on this earth to participate and be part of the change makers, making life more comfortable, making life more meaningful for our sickle cell warriors, you know. So that's part of me, that's part of the things that I do. And that's one major thing that actually makes me very fulfilled in life by working with sickle cell warriors, by working with community based organizations, putting events together to educate our communities, to share knowledge with them, share stories with them, to uplift them and give them hope. Because that's a key thing we don't talk about much in the, advocacy of sickle cell disease. We focus more on a lot, I can say, focus more on, oh, we need a cure, we need a treatment, we need this. But we fail to understand that those are going to come, right? And it's a process, right? But then again, one thing I strongly believe sickle cell warriors need is support, right? Is hope, right? Is strength. And this is what's going to help them go by day. And without those in place, it's going to be very difficult, okay? We like support for me is everything, right? Imagine not having support in anything you do. We're definitely going to fail. We want to be successful because we need people to be on our side, right? You can't build a brand by yourself. You can't build anything by yourself. So whatever support you can get, it could be monetary, it could be emotional, it could be all sort of support. We need that support to come to help us be better in everything that we do. So with sickle cell being part of me, being part of what I advocate for, part of my life, I believe we can all make a significant difference in any shape or way that we can.
That's very true. I always tell people one of the reasons I connected with you is actually through the passion of sickle cell. And myself, as a sickle cell warrior myself, I always look for people who could share, help me advocate. And I saw the amazing work you were doing. I thought, I know other sickle cell warriors, not just myself, need to know it and see how we could all work together to keep advocating, because it's true. The key thing is that you're here now. What difference are you going to make to the world? Now you're here, you're living with it. You need to keep going. And that's one thing I love the work you do. It's not just finding just the cure, but okay, this person is here, you're living with this, then how do you find your cure for, how do you get on with your day to day, being an assistant, being a human being, being able to contribute meaningful to the society. And it's something that very few people think about in that line, because it's not what you first think about. You always think about, oh, let's just cure this illness. But yeah, even if we can't do it right now, then what is that to help that person to get from A to B on a day-to-day basis? It's something you do marvelously well. So I always say yes, thank you for that. But you do marvelous work with sickle cell, but I have to, another reason I touched on you today is that as a Black woman, you had decided to go into a very niche area of the creating of nappies and baby brands. And I saw that in a world where people always talk about so many different challenges thrown at Black women, thrown at women, you said, I'm going to do this. Could you tell me a little bit about your background that led you on this path to wanting to create your brand?
True. Um, as a new mother, um, well, before I became a mother, I've always been in the legal field and the finance field. My career path was in law. I've practiced juvenile justice as a juvenile judge, and currently working on my Juris Doctorate right now. So with the University of Oklahoma. So I I never thought this was something I would actually venture in, right? So when I was pregnant, I started doing a lot of research, legal background, legal mind. I did a lot of, research trying to find out what products to use on my child, right? But aside just the products, I was thinking beyond products. I'm like, what can I do to connect with mothers, to connect with parents? I'm about to be a mother, right? And it's only realistic for me to think like a mom ahead of time. And I want to mingle with other moms. I want to talk to moms who are more experienced than I am, who understand the journey of motherhood. Although there's no manuscript for motherhood, but there are people who have experience is the best teacher, number one, right? But when people go through certain path, they can also help guide you to things that you want to do in that path or in that area. So I did research, and it was time for diapers. I started looking at diapers, what kind of diapers I'm gonna, your first child, you're so excited, you're so energetic.
Yes.
I'll stay up at night, do some research, and I was reading a lot of articles, which I'm gonna omit from mentioning the brands, but about 99% of the diaper brands that I've came across, I was kind of skeptical. I'm like, I don't want to use this. This has that. Being so analytical as an individual, I'm like, no. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should start a diaper line. Then I started doing research with different manufacturers, regulations, what's needed, what's not needed, how much is it going to cost me. Then I'm like, oh, this is so much work. I don't think I can do this. I paused. I'm like, I'm just gonna focus on my, I'm gonna get my JD. I'm gonna, I'm like, because it's easy to read and write exams and do all these things. Because then I factored a lot of things that goes into the business, right? I left that. Few months later, I came back to it. I'm like, I really want to do this. I needed help at that point in time because there are certain things I'm really good at and there are certain things I'm not good at. And I needed support. And I reached out a couple of friends, and I wasn't getting the support I needed, right? I was asking for help in different areas of, putting together a business, and I struggled. I struggled really hard. Okay. I I there's just about 3 manufacturers that I know globally who are fully FDA approved and eco certified to deliver a 100% biodegradable bamboo diapers. When I reached out to them, they told me, oh, we can't take your order because it's very little. Your first orders has to be at least 3 to 5 40-foot containers to be able to work with you. I'm like, I cannot afford that. They're like, unfortunately, we can't. Okay, fine. So I found one. That one said, okay, we can work with you. Fast forward, I was excited, wasn't getting ready to make payments and deposits and everything. They're like, no, we can't work with you again because your order is little. I cried that night. My mom came and said, if this is something you really want to do, God will come through for you. It will come if it's from the heart, because I see how hard you're working on this. And my youngest sister was like, my immediate youngest sister came and met me in the room and said, I think you should forget everything else you are doing and focus on this diaper line because I know it's going to do well and it's going to go far. I'm like, but no manufacturer wants to work with me. She said, just do it. Forget your consulting firm and do this. I said, okay. I stayed up till 7 in the morning looking for a new manufacturer to work with me. And that's how everything started happening. Well, that's not it. I've got worst experience in the process of everything, but that's when the real work started, right? But beyond all that, Anne, the reason I actually did this, I pushed for it, is because I know there's so many moms like me out there. So many moms that are, you know, consciously minded about what they put on their kids, that are conscious about what they put on their own skin. Because if you're conscious about what you put on your skin, you would be more conscious of what you put on your child's well-being, right?
Mm.
So I'm like, this is a problem I need to solve. We need diapers that are more eco-friendly, better for our community, and also for our parents' well-being and the baby's well-being, because these diapers out there have so much going on that we don't know. You don't know. Like, if I never got into the field of manufacturing or designing my own diapers, I wouldn't know these things, because I wouldn't go that in depth to do research to find out what are these issues that kids are facing that we don't know. They're very unknown, right? So I decided to tap into it. I decided to solve that problem, and not just solve the problem, but make it very competitive price points, right? Because when you think about bamboo, you think about biodegradable, you talk about all these great things and elements that comes with the product. The first thing that comes to your mind, oh, it's going to be expensive. I
Right.
don't want it. No, that narrative changed. We changed that. We are like, no, we want our diapers to be priced similar to what's available in the market, and yet get the best of the quality that you deserve as a mother. It's already stressful being a mom. You know it, I know it, millions of other mothers know it. As a
Mm.
career-oriented woman, as a wife, as a sister, as a friend, because these are responsibilities that we have. The last thing you want to do is come home and find your child crying because of diaper rashes, because of skin irritations. So these are all things that we want to uplift our parents to not worry about again, to ever not to worry about having all those issues. So that's how the Jaiye company came to birth, and we're delivering, and that's our promise to to our clients, to our customers, to forever be consistent in our production and the quality that we present.
And the business is growing. It's not just the nappies you guys are focusing on.
Oh,
You tell us more that what other other things you guys are venturing out to for other
we
people.
have this is the bamboo plate,
Oh,
right? It has
wow.
protection. We have it in different colors. These are very durable because it sticks very well on the table, on the high chair, on plates. If you have a messy shower, I know I'm a messy eater, right?
Very much.
So
Yeah.
it works perfectly well. Okay, it doesn't move, it doesn't shift, the food doesn't spill. So these are very durable. It comes in a plate, a bowl, and a spoon. And we have let me show you. We have the bamboo swaddle set. It comes in three. We have it in the pink set, and then we have in the blue set as well.
Oh, wow.
Yes,
That's lovely.
yes, we have this. And then these are different colors. They're so soft. You can use it as a towel for the child, because a lot of kids have sensitive skin,
That
and
is
we don't
true.
know it. Your child starts breaking out. You think, oh, it might be the lotion. It's probably not the lotion. It's probably the towel you were using on the child. So
Mm.
we have to be very careful. So we have this, and then we have the diapers and the wipes. Everything is 100% bamboo. The diapers are bottom and top sheet, all 100% bamboo.
Wow.
Yeah.
I am super proud of you. I have to get to the business side as a Black woman, because this is what you're based in the United States, and you see so much going on out there with people wanting the society to be fairer for all. You live there. In your opinion, how difficult has it been as a woman starting your business?
Um, it's very difficult. Um, and it depending on the perspective you look at it, financial perspective, growth in terms of, penetrating through the market. You just have to be very strategic, like I said, and have a plan, right? With a team. And right now, I don't have a whole lot of team, but I have what I need to get off my feet, because that's key right there. So a lot of things we battle with as a new business owners is that we tend to focus more on the things we think are the right things to start off your business, right? not necessarily what's more important and what is required to get your business off going. For instance, I have someone that reached out to me and said, "Oh, I want to manage your social media," right? I said, "Okay, how much are you going to charge me to manage my social media?" She said, "X amount." I said, "Unfortunately, I cannot afford that right now." She said, "But you have to invest in your business." I said, "I think I've already done that investment part. And I have a budget. To be successful in life, in your household, you have to set a budget. No matter how wealthy you are, if you spend recklessly, you will drown. That's
Yes.
how I work. I operate on budget. You can call me prudent, you can call me other names, but that's how I operate. I have my ways of moving things. So as a black woman, as a minority, as an African, there's so many challenges you face, which is I get a lot of people asking me, why do you have certain things on your page and that. I'm like, my brand is very diverse. It's not for certain group. It's not for certain type.
Mm.
It's very diverse. It's for everyone. It's not for black. It's not for white. It's not for Asian. It's for everyone. It's for the human race, right?
Yes.
So that's that, right? But aside that, there's so many other challenges women face as general. I wouldn't say just colored women or minority, but a lot of issues that has to do with building the business, right? And the advice I would give everyone is that if you have something you really want to do, you have to be prepared to do everything it takes legitimate to get that business picked up. No one is going to do it for you. No promises will get it done for you aside yourself. Yes, you will need support, right?
Mm.
It could be a support, someone telling you, "Oh, Mariam, this thing you're thinking of, it's very good. You should do it. You're smart. You're like, you need those, things that will push you. Because sometimes you'll be in your lowest moments, you might not be at your highs to be able to push yourself. But you need those good people, those feel good friends, family. If you're married, your partner would be your number one support system. My husband is very supportive. Like, he makes 90% of things that I should worry about to not worry about them. So when you have that off your shoulders, then you're only left with the minimal to get up and get things done. So who am I to not get up and get things done? So, and if you don't, you can still do it. I've seen people who are single mothered, who are widows, who get things done. So the whole thing of I don't have support, I don't have a partner, I don't have anybody is not an excuse to be a failure. We could all be victims. There are so many reasons that could let me to not proceed or launch my product or my brand, but I didn't let that overtake me. I made myself available. I made myself very committed to getting this thing done, because if you look at it, this is literally my first business that I've established from inception to here, right? I've had a consulting firm. I've had other things I wanted to do, but it just amazes me when you have passion in something, how it grows.
Mm.
It all starts from the inside. If you are really genuine with your thoughts and you're very authentic with your ideas, like being creative, being original, like it's from your own thought and it's real, it's easy to execute those things. So,
Very true. That
yeah.
is very true. And I think this is something that a lot of people miss out on, is that they want it. Everyone wants it. They want the quick win, they want the quick everything, or they make excuses. We could all make excuses that this is happening, or I have a chronic illness, or I have too many kids, or I have too less kids. It's just always an excuse. So sometimes you have to find your own will, your own reasoning to get out there and make it work. One thing I love about your brand, I think you've talked about it, is that your brand is very sustainable. You think about kids first. Everything you make is about children first, it's about the babies. What led you on that path to really, I know you said something that when I look at brands now, a lot of brands are just making the fast pace. Let me just do something so you could sell. Like when you look at your brand, you're thinking about what impact would I live legacy. Let's put a legacy. Would I leave for this baby? Why did you really think the legacy bit? Because that's so meaningful. And I think that gets you a million miles farther than anything else. But why did you just think on legacy?
Um, when I think of the brand, to by the grace of God, because everything in His hand, but we have to work hard for us to get it right.
Yeah.
I wanted something that would be around for a very long time, right? That would impact the life of parents, right? And the children, right? So it's going to be very unfair to create something because of monetary, because of the money I'm going to get out of it. If it's money, I can go get a job or do other businesses that will give me money in a very short period of time, right?
Mm.
But is that sustainable? How much would it impact the life of people? Like, the world is changing. We have to adapt to that change, right? Do we want to just sit around and let the future generations suffer from those things? No. More babies are going to be born, and they need something more sustainable, eco-friendly, and and as a consciously minded individual, conscious about the future, conscious about the future generation. I created something that would last for generations and generations, right? And back to that question about legacy, Jaiye, the brand is called Jaiye. That it means enjoy, right? Right. Um, it wasn't difficult for me to find a name for my business. When I wanted to do the baby brand, it was centered around my child, right? If it wasn't for him coming into my life,
Mm.
this wouldn't have been born or wouldn't have been birthed, right? Because the journey of me becoming an entrepreneur, building a brand for kids came through the birth of my child, right? So, and when I think about him, I want to give him the best, right? I want him to have the best of everything. Yes, he'll be trained and taught of how to attain for himself and how to attain great things for himself and how to be a great man. But then again, I want to make the bare minimal for him easy, which is the lifestyle. The Jaiye brand is a lifestyle. Okay? It's a lifestyle of living a healthy lifestyle, because we have wives. Our wives are not just for babies, right? I have a lot of moms that tell me, Mariam, I need more of that wipes. I'm like, wait, what happened to all the wipes you just purchased? Because that baby didn't use all that wipes. Like, girl, I use them for my makeup remover. I use them for this. I use them for that. I'm like, oh, nice. So it's not just for the mom, for the baby or the mom. It could be used for everything, right? So that legacy is forever going to be there. Even if the baby grows up, the mom can use it, okay? People can use it after and after and after again. So we wanted something that's going to last, and we just didn't want to create something to just make money out of it. And going back to production, I actually wanted to mention something. When I asked the lady that, you know what, just send me the invoice, I'm going to go for this. She said, Miss Mariam, this is going to be very expensive. You're not going to make a lot of money. Why don't you just go for cutting and mix it? I said, no, 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 no. That's not what I want. This is what I want. And I'm going to stick with it. Even if I'm going to make a penny of each, I'm going to make a penny. But this is what I want to bring to the world. And I'm going to keep my promise. I don't want to change anything. That's what I want. And that's what I'm going to get. I'm in a little trouble and I want some things, I go for it, right?
You are.
some point I started getting very annoyed with them. I'm like, why they're pushing me to a different direction? This is what I want. I want to get this thing. Don't discourage me. It was very discouraging, And I felt like because they felt that I don't have money, that's why they were telling me those things. If someone had came with millions and tell them they want to do that and they Google the person and know they have millions, they wouldn't ask those questions.
Yeah.
So they already knew I don't have much and I wanted to do this and I got it done. That's it. So
And you were so resilient in the process because you were so determined to bring out to the market a quality product that mothers could use, and not just use, but also pass on that legacy, because they could say, I use this product and I could testify for it. This is amazing. And this is one thing I love about your brand. I have a family. If anyone looks at my page, you'll see my girls. And one of the things I love about you is that you are thinking about the safety of kids, which is something a lot of brands tend to miss out on, is that the safety. We always think when there's an eczema, and that's very true. I think it's the cream. Oh, the cream. What cream? We're not putting enough cream out there. But no one really digs in to say, is it just the cream, or is it other things? Is it the towel might be hard, not as soft? So when you're wiping the body, you're not doing it so it's not
right.
gentle on the skin. It's so, all that little things is that just details you think. Before I let you go, Mira, I have to ask you, there's so many kids out there in Africa that are in need of your product, because your product is so, is helpful. How are you giving joy to others who do not even have access to nappies? And there you are making something so fun. How are you giving joy and giving hope to others as well?
Okay, so this is gonna make you laugh. Last year when I launched the brand, I was talking to a friend of mine and I said, look, I want every sale a person takes to go to a proceeding of, sickle cell. And then like my friend said, Mariam, calm down. You just launched, you haven't started making money. You're so much about giving. But that's where I derive joy from. That's what makes me happy. When I see kids happy, when I see parents happy, when I give, it gives me so much joy. So I can't help but talk about it, right? But we have plans in place to make sure that families who can't even afford this product to have access to it at a very affordable price, right? And in our plans with the Sickle Cell Foundation, we're going to make it a duty of responsibility every year to actually donate different communities, like hospitals, with newborn babies, like to help them with, a couple of months of diaper supplies, and, a percentage of our profit to go through that proceedings. So that's part of the plan. And to tell you the truth, that's something that makes me really happy because I'm already, picturing when I'm out there, giving out these moms, these things, how much joy is going to give, because as a person, I don't receive a lot.
Yeah.
Right. And when I have few friends or when I meet someone, like recently, when I just moved out here, I met a lady and she made food. She brought it to my house when my sisters was around. I was so happy. I couldn't help it. I called her. I said, hey, I said, thank you so much. I kept saying thank you. She's like, that's just food. I said, no, it's not just food. You don't get it. I don't get things like this often, I don't receive very often. It melts my heart. And I'll forever be grateful for that because when you don't receive and you receive, it takes you at a different level. So imagine those people who are in need and they're receiving. How much would you change their life? How happy would you make them? How much joy are you going to place in their life? So that's when I think about giving, and it excites me so much. And I can't wait to launch that part of my business to extend a hand to the people who are really in need of these products that we create.
And your brand, do you have any plans to come out to the United Kingdom where we'll see you in our local store or Europe markets?
Bring us there.
We need you here because, well, I mean, we could do it with
Well,
you.
invite us. We'll come. I'm excited. I have a friend in UK. He's into technology, and he's asked me that question. But we're more than happy to come. We are fully eco certified. You know, we can be placed in any store. We we have all our certifications, so we're good to go. You
Oh,
know,
good.
yeah, we're
Well,
definitely good to go. We
UK
have a
guys
lot of
better
orders
watch
from
out.
the UK. Yeah, we have a lot of orders from all over. Like right now, we are in store in Gambia, in
Mm.
the Gambia. We are in the supermarket out there, and we're working on being in different supermarkets out there as well. So we have orders. We have people that want stuff from Nigeria. We have our products in Senegal. So it's growing. People are buying. Every day. So it's a blessing. I'm really, really happy how things are going. And it's very promising that it's going to grow to be bigger and better. And hopefully, we'll be the number one diaper brand globally.
Oh, very soon. I think so because you've taken this a personal challenge of yours. It's not something you're doing just because you want to do it. It's something that's so personal to you as a mother, as someone who's passionate about the world and passionate about causes. You're so passionate about sickle cell. I saw the work you did with this, and only Lord knows what work you're going to do next with this brand. I wish you all the best. And I thank you so much for your time, for having this chat with me. We look forward to seeing where the brand goes and making many, many babies happy just when they were happy. Thank you.